Today I wanted to talk about the limitations of the dot split method. So, to introduce you to the split method, here we have the length of the last word problem. So, this takes a string and we want to return the index of the last word. So for hello world, using the dot split function works just fine to split this one long string into an array of substrings. So we would have an array of 2 words, and when we do this, we can see the sentence array itself, hello, comma, world. From there, we can get the index of the last word, which would be equal to our array.length. The length of the array is 2, but the index is 1 because we start from 0, 0, 1. So minus 1. So 2 minus 1 equals 1. That's the index of the last word. And we return the array, accessing the element of the array at that index of 1, world, and on the word world we call dot length. So this is equivalent to world dot length is 5. That's the answer. However, so why doesn't dot split work on this? Here we have fly me to the moon. This is test case 2. And so normally a sentence does not start with a space. So the way that the dot split function works when you have space as the delimiter, every time it finds a space, it creates a new substring. So normally sentences do not start with a space, so this is not a problem. We would start with hello world, okay, and we find a space, so we create a substring of everything that came before the space. However, in this case, we have 3 spaces. You see these little dots? 3. So each time we find one, we create a substring of the things that came before. But if nothing comes before that delimiter, then we return empty elements. So here we have empty elements. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can see how this is a problem. For fly, it's not a problem. We find the space, we return a substring of everything that came before, and then we do it for me. Okay, that's fine. And then we have 2 empty elements because you have 2 spaces in a row that follow. So we have 2 spaces in a row that follow, and those become 2 additional empty elements. 2, it's fine. Again, 2 empty elements. It works as intended for the, and it works as intended for moon, but it returns 2 empty elements. Okay, and then it tells us the length of the last word is 0, which is incorrect. So that's basically what's happening here and why we cannot simply use dot split. So you might think, okay, so we're going to call dot trim. So here's the result of calling trim. You can see that it handles the spacing on the outside. We have removed the spacing on the extremes of the string, but again, when we have this excessive sequential spacing in between words inside our string array, it's coming up short. So this is enough to solve the leetcode problem. With this test case, finding the length of the last word of the string, this is enough using the trim and dot split method. But isn't this a little bit unsatisfying? Because you still have these sequential spacing resulting in empty subarrays from our .split method. And so what is the solution to this? So the solution to this is twofold. One, we add yet another built-in function. So we call .filter, and we pass in a arrow function as an argument. So for each word, there's our arrow, word.length is greater than 0. Okay, so now we filter out all the empty strings, because these empty strings are considered words. Okay, they're considered words. And so what we're going to do is, if the word is indeed less than 0, then we know in fact it's not a word. And so now we can go down here and see the result.